Da, 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 da. Yes, welcome to another reading vlog. And this is what I'm reading, A Game of Thrones. Anyway, sorry for about the little bit of a cheesy intro. I don't know how that well it's gonna go, but I'm gonna keep it because that was funny. Anyway, yes, I'm reading Game of Thrones. I'm taking a pause on the Rose of Forsyth right now. I think I'm on the edge of a reading slump because I'm reading a lot of many books, so I think I'm on the edge of a reading slump. So anyway, I've been wanting to read these books for a long time. I think I've tried to get into this like 2 or 3 times, but at the time I just could not get into it, and I think it was because I needed time to prep myself mentally. Because I know these books are like, they're no joke. It's really going to challenge your reading powers, if you will, you know what I mean? Because I think, you know, some books they're complex. You need the reading power to read them, you know, like you know. So I have seen Mike from Mike's book reviews, read them. He loves them, and I know people rave about them all the time, and they say the shows are good. I have watched a little bit of the show. I think I've watched minimum 10 episodes, I think, of the first season. So but I think I can get in the show, and because I think I'm like, because I wanted to read the books first, right? I did watch House of the Dragon. I did get House of the Dragon book, but that bitch reads like an actual history book, and I feel like I should have known that, but like I didn't. So when I got into it, I was like, damn, it's a history book. I'm not going to school here, you guys. I just want to read this for funsies. Anyway, I was all over my TikTok. I was seeing this Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon stuff, like content. I don't, because you interact with one thing and you get like a billion of them. So, when was it? I want to say Monday. Monday I started it. And then I think Tuesday and then Wednesday or whatever, I kind of just dedicated those full days just to focus on it, just read it. So I am about 50% through it. So so far, these books, like when you're reading them, they're split up into character chapters. So like you'll go to it's not even chapters, there's just like there's a prologue in there, and then it'll just be like Daenerys. So this whole chapter will be about Daenerys, or Daenerys Targaryen, or Bran, the kid who falls off the thing or whatever. So it's about each. I don't think we had a Cersei chapter, or Cersei. That's how they say it in the book, Cersei. But Eddard, or Ned Stark, his wife, Catelyn, so they're swapping those. So I think that makes it a little easier to kind of break up since you're focusing on one character each chapter, so that's kind of nice. I'm at the point where I'm not sure how this lines up in the show, but I do know, I think Ned also gets injured real bad because he gets cornered by Jaime, whatever, and his legs get injured, but then we're at the point where that's afterward. He's been out for a couple days. He was visited by the king, and the king hits Cersei because she's being a bitch. Yeah. So, and this is where we're just at the point where that has happened, and then Tyrion had his trial, and the kid's like, make the bad man fly, except for he doesn't really say that. He's like, I know in the show he goes, make the bad man fly. He's super annoying. He's super annoying in the book too, but that part. And Jon Snow and his other friends have become men of the blood. They've graduated a little bit, so they're officially men of the watch, but they're worried about Sam. And then course, John is always, he's kind of looking after him, but he came up with an idea, like, hey, yo, he can do what you're doing. He read all of his father's books, so, which it seems to me that Jon Snow, he's really good at seeing people's strengths and how to use people's certain strengths to help whatever cause it may be. So that's what I'm seeing so far. Whereas, like, they're like, all you need to do is fight and kill, but like they're not thinking about like, oh, maybe this person maybe not good with the sword, maybe got with good hunting, but they have these good skills that could help us in this way. But that's where we're at right now. That's where I stopped. Oh, and I'm on Tyrion's chapter. So I'm assuming this is where he's leaving. Oh my god, I can't remember the name of the place. But it's, you know, where like they're high in the sky, you know, they make the bad men fly out of, they're leaving Catelyn's sister's area where they're at. So that's where I'm at right now. And I decided, you know, why not document this? I might do it per book, but that's a serious commitment. So yeah, so this is, I might do 2 per book because that's more realistic. I might be able to do that. But that's hefty. Anyway, that's where I'm at. Reading the Game of Thrones book, so that's great. So, yeah. I don't think I have anything else to say. I know somewhere in the series, in the first couple episodes, Ned Stark finds out that Cersei's son, forget the fucker's name. I got Tom into, but it's Tywin Lannister. No, it's not him. That's Jaime and Cersei's dad. It would be Joffrey. Sorry, Joffrey. Him. I know that he finds that out somewhere here because he's looking at the big ass book, which he was looking at the big ass book, like the Baratheon histories or whatever. So he's, you know, documenting everyone's marriages, kids, and I remember in the show, he goes, such and such, black hair, brown eyes, such and such, black hair, brown eyes, or whatever. And then he goes to Joffrey and goes, blonde hair, green eyes. And it's like a big thing, and he actually ends up threatening Cersei, and then that's how, from there, that's when, I know Ned Stark dies. I know that. Everyone knows that, I feel like, so I'm not even surprised. I think somewhere in there, that's where, that's, you know, she's gonna plan that off, so. And I do know the King Baratheon dies. Yeah, I know he does. I know he dies too. That's the cause. So Joffrey ends up being king, and then so I know that part. I know Joffrey dies too, but because like it's a whole bunch of spoilers. I feel like Game of Thrones has been in just since 2019. There's spoilers. I'm fine with that, but you know, just see how it plays out in here. And I think Lord Baelish, Littlefinger, if you will, he seems very very sketchy to me because he's loved Catelyn, which I know he's sketchy in the end. He's sketchy in this book right now, so it's like, dude, he's lived in love with this lady for so long, and then, you know, he seems very weird. But Arya, she even tried to tell her dad, yo, they're gonna kill you, but then he was taken as she was just playing. But it's like, dude, she's a kid who's like of what, 8, something like that. So of course she's not gonna remember all the things of what she overheard, because, you know, it was like hours of her being down there at little dungeons and stuff. So, but like, if she's being adamant, yo, people are gonna kill you, like she must have heard something. But anyway, and Sansa, she's very, very annoying, which I knew she was gonna be annoying. I could tell in the series, and I think I've heard people saying that she's very, very annoying in the series. But that's okay. I haven't had Sansa chapter in a while, but yeah. There's that. My thoughts so far. So far I'm not getting confused. I'm not. I do feel like there is a heaviness to reading these books already, because I get really tired. When I read these, I get like super tired, because it's like there's a whole lot. I think there's a whole lot going on, and there's a whole lot going on behind the scenes with the two playing the game, you know, to get the throne, the Iron Throne. So yeah. The things we do for love, you guys. Well, it's raining. I knew there was gonna be rain. My husband told me that it's gonna be severe thunderstorms, but I don't know. Look at it. That's nice. Look at that nice rain. Oh, and I had another thought about the Game of Thrones. When Arya and Sansa are all outside, playing, or they're doing their thing, and then Arya gets caught with like trying to play swords with this one kid, and then Joffrey's drunk off wine. Like most of these people are, I think, in this movie, but that's okay. Then they all get in trouble. The dog, the dire wolf, bites the shit out of him, which you deserve. Come on, you deserve, bitch. And then Cersei decides to punish the kids by locking them up a little bit, but it's like, really, they're kids, so it's like, really, bitch. And she has one of the dogs killed, which was really, really hard, because Sansa's like, no, my dog didn't do anything, it was Arya, but it kind of shows how early on Sansa is. She doesn't know how the real world out there works, so, which a lot of kids out here feel like they act like that too nowadays, but now she'll learn. I know she does, at least in the show she does, because she goes through some serious shit, I think. I don't know what, but I know she does. And that kind of just shows how Cersei is. Oh, that's a big ass bee. Go away. Don't stay out of my way. Shows how she's gonna be, if she's like this towards kids, how she's like this with like grown ass adults. So, when I do finish the series, hopefully I do, or just get into the series, the book series, and then I see the actual movie, the show, see how that well compares. Cause it's like, this lady, she's got her, what the fuck? There's a whole bunch of bugs out here, you guys. That will be interesting to see, how she goes. So it's like, how Ryder likes it with kids when, yes, they got bit by a direwolf, but your kid was being an asshole, and he's being an asshole. How's she gonna be like with grown-ass adults? And we all have a feeling that they killed the previous hand of the king, which if I'm not mistaken, it's because he knew the secrets of Jaime and Cersei's incesting in Joffrey. So yeah, I think that's why he got killed in the first place, and that's why Ned Stark's hand of the king now, because the first prisoner died mysteriously. This is what kind of puts the game in place, kind of started. And then Daenerys is across the sea with the Dothraki, and her brother is a pain in the ass. Viserys, he's an asshole. We don't like him. I do know he gets a crown for a king. We all know that happens, so I know that. But I can't wait to see how that plays out. And we're slowly starting to see Daenerys be like, yo, you see through his bullshit, like, bitch, I am married to a Dothraki king. Fuck you. So I like to see how this plays out with her. I like, and she's actually a lot younger in the book than she is in the movies, which I'm like, damn. That's okay. That's my last minute thoughts. Okay, we're sitting out on the porch. It's, nice, rainy, evening. And me and there goes Stella. She's out here just sniffing. So, we kind of got, a glimpse of, I like Tyrion so far. I have a feeling that we're not gonna like him at some point, but he, one thing he is so far I've seen is he keeps to his word. His saying, he's got good, advice. Like when he first met Jon Snow, he had told him, what they use, basically what they use against you, like calling a bastard, like you own it. Say, yeah, I'm a bastard, whatever. Yes, I'm an imp. So he owns up that he's an imp. He doesn't use that against him. He uses it to his advantage. So I like that. And he kept his promise with Jon Snow when he asked him to give Bran some advice, and give him wise words. He's good at wise words, and he did do that. He gave him something that he basically gave him the ability to be able to ride again, so he can be free, somewhat capacity, so he's not just stuck in a chair for the rest of his life, or stuck in a bed for the rest of his days. So he can ride, do whatever, at least in that capacity. And kept that promise. And when he was captured in the Veil, it's the Veil. Stella. Neighbors, hang on. Shh, shh. Stella, shh, shh, shh. Okay. Stella, stop. Okay, so, when he was captured in the Veil, he was in a cell, which is not like a traditional cell. Crazy. He actually told the guy who was his guard at the time, hey, I'll give you money, all that good stuff. And he actually did. So, he kept that. And, yeah. He keeps to his word. His thing is, Lannisters always, repay their debts or whatever, or something like that. So we also got a glimpse of how horrible, not Tyrion, Tywin Lannister. And I know the guy who plays him. I can see him in my brain now, but I can't tell you the actor's name. But I know he's terrible. Very older man, deep voice, kind of talks like this. What did you see out there, or whatever? We know him. We gotta see how horrible he is. And so, long story short, to make sure that Tyrion had his first time with somebody, they hired a Hua to have a first time with him, and of course he was fooled. Fell in love with her, married her, blah. And then to prove that, this is not a helpless young woman that you guys saved on the side of the road. She's a Hua. He actually had the guards have each guard have their way with her, paying her to do it. But then he watched the whole time, and then he was last. And he paid slightly more money. He made her pay more money for her because he's a Lannister. He is worth more. So yeah, we see how horrible Tywin Lannister is. So yeah, and we wonder where Cersei and Jaime got it. And if I'm not saying Cersei the whole time, I'm sorry. I'm listening to the audiobook while reading this, and that's how they say her name. They say Cersei sometimes, but they say Cersei. Like when Robert Baratheon is talking about her, he says Cersei. Like he has like a very deep, like raspy. At least the narrator says Cersei, and it's funny. I'm sorry. So yeah, there's that. And then Robert Baratheon, he's out hunting, and we all know that he gets severely injured, so then he dies afterward. But we all know that. That's upcoming. So right now, Ned Stark is seated upon the Iron Throne right now. He's kind of overseeing things on the behalf of Robert Baratheon, and basically there was this little village got raided or whatever, and these people are trying to say, hey, it was the Lannisters, which probably was the Lannisters, but then Ned's trying to say, hey, were there banners? What'd you see on their armor? Like, what did you see that could prove that it was the Lannisters? Their house sigil is a lion, so there has to be some sort of proof. But they're describing something that looks like Gregor Clegane, I think that's how you say it. Hang on. Yeah, Gregor Clegane. So they're kind of describing him, which is not the Hound. It's like the Hound's brother that fucked up his face. So there's that. But like he can't like outright say, oh, it's you guys. He's already on thin ice with Cersei right now, so can't. So he's kind of he's acting king on the behalf of Robert right now, listening over to what happened to these villagers. And he's just like, So yeah, that's where we're at right now. So yeah, that's it. That's it. Just chilling. Hello, I'm here again. So you're not propped up weird, but that's okay. Stella, come here. Come here. Dear my Stella. Say hello. So updates. So Ned was taking counsel or whatever with the people who were trying to say that Gregor Gorgain, however your name is, say his name, Gregor Gorgain, him, saying that he was pillaging basically, you know, like they do in these books and stuff. Basically saying that, and of course Ned is like, I need to do justice, and so they actually end up sending people out to go hunt him, and Tywin Lannister doesn't like that, and so his people are not really happy about it, so he ended up going through with that. And then this is one thing that Sansa and Arya, they were at the dinner table, and of course they're, you know, talking, and then Arya and Sansa get into a little fight, and then Arya throws food on Sansa on her nice pretty dress, and she's like, oh, you ruined everything, you're so terrible, oh, you ruined everything, you know, which, I mean, this kind of like proves how the way he writes Sansa's thoughts and all that stuff is like, she sees the councilman, and then she's the guy who volunteered to take out Gregor Gorgain. She's like, oh, he would have been so perfect. He would have been the hero of the story. And so of course, I think at some point, Littlefinger asks her, why did you choose him? Why would you choose him? And then of course she describes a fairy tale story of why he should have been chosen. So that proves that her head lives in a fairy tale story. Everything's all bright, lovely. There's a hero of the story. The hero always wins. Whereas like in this world where she's living at, it does not work like that. As she will grow to know, which I know she does, and at least it looks like in the story of the show, it looks like she does. And it shows how her mind is, where like her dad's like, hey, when he finally has a talk with her and Arya, hey, I'm gonna go back to Winterfell, you know, she's like, no, I love Joffrey, we're gonna have nice blonde hair and blue-eyed babies, you know, and I'll be, you know, whatever. It's like, I love him so much. And he's like this place is not safe. Like, a bunch of our people like died, like not so far from where we're standing now, like. And Arya kind of, I feel like she has a little bit more sense of like, oh, this place is not her rose-colored glasses aren't as tinted as Sansa's is. I feel like she's got more instincts, or intuition's telling her more, like, hey, something sketch. So as long as Arya she wants to take her trainer, you know, so she can continue to be a swordswoman. So that's fine. As long as she has that, she's fine and good to go. She's like, okay, cool. We can go and see Hodor. And the reason I'm saying that is because that's the way it's narrated in the book. It's so funny. And we go see everyone else, and we'll be happy. And then Sansa's like, you should marry Hodor. You were as smelly and hairy as him. And so she doesn't know how the world really works. So there's that aspect of like how he writes the kids, and how Sansa doesn't sense the upcoming doom that's gonna happen. Where like Arya, her instincts are telling her something different. Of like, something's not right here. The way these people move, it's not right. They're snake-like. knew Joffrey right off the bat was a little snake. Is like because he lied, like he made up this whole big thing. She's like, oh yeah, you ain't. Like the minute he did that, she did not trust him from then on. But and then after that, we do get the scene where Ned finds out that Cersei's kids are not Robert Baratheons because they end up meeting in a semi-public place, and then she's like, well, why did we meet here? Because it's public, and he basically says, I'm gonna tell you, and then she just outright like, my lover, the Targaryens did it. Why is it wrong if we should do it or whatever? So she just didn't even deny it, nothing. And she's gonna have the upper hand. We know it, but he basically, oh, I'm telling on you. So you better leave and take your kids with you, because no one's not gonna want you no more. Robert's gonna not want to see you. So don't even think about going to Casterly Rock, because I'm telling, basically. So yeah, but you probably shouldn't have done that. You probably should have just waited and not told her outright. Just cut. You shouldn't have done that. But whatever. Yeah. So I'm up to that point, and yeah. Oh, Viserys. Daenerys' brother. They have like the celebration where she eats the heart. She's very successful. She's great scene. And then she's looking for her brother, and he finds out like he wants her the eggs. It's like, well, take the eggs. I don't care. Like, you're my brother. You're the king. And I think at this point, at the end, she's like, no, you're not. And then he's basically insulting all these people. He pulls out his sword, which is not good, especially for the Dothraki. They're like, ooh, we gonna kill you. And then she's like, please put the sword away. It's not a good idea. You won't die. And then he basically tells Dany, tell Khal Drogo that I want what was promised me. I want my crown. And then, but she says something to him, but we don't know what she says. But obviously, it's not what he said. And it's like, okay. So he has his men hold him down, and then he takes like gold pieces and like melts them down. And then, of course, this is that scene in the first season where like Big Jon's from the Big Puppy. He is. Where Jason Momoa takes the big cauldron and goes, a crown for a king, and dumps it on him, and then he dies. And of course, he's bleeding. Of course, I'm not just exactly where I stopped. And he goes, he's no dragon. Danny thought curiously calm. Fire cannot kill a dragon. But the way he says it in the book is crown. Here, a crown for a cart king. But I mean, I like the show. But anyway, yeah. So Viserys is dead, and yeah, I think at that point she was very much like, you're not. But he wasn't. He was just he was whiny. The way that he's narrated in the book too, by the guy, he kind of talks very nasally and like, I want what was promised to me. I want what's promised to me. I am the dragon. I am the dragon. Do not wake the dragon. You can't disobey the dragon. I'm less Targaryen. A Targaryen. That's the way he talks. It's really funny. At least the way he's narrated. And that's how I valid it. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to try to get through a big chunk of this. I don't think I have any other thoughts besides that. And of course, there's someone talking outside and still probably going to bark. Yeah. We did talk about Tyrion, so I wonder what's going to happen to him. The next chapter is more Ned. Or Eddard. That's how that's... Yeah, so... So, yeah. We're going to see how that goes. Yep, Stella, we know someone's outside. She's doing her job. You're doing your job very, very well. Thank you. If any more thoughts, I'll let you know. Okay, so we're at a little bit more. And if you're hearing a fan, I'm in the guinea pig room. So that is our humidifier. Got some good stuff going on. So, Robert Baratheon just came home from his trip, and he got skewered by a wild boar real bad, so he is dying. He wrote his last wishes on everything, and he did. Ned didn't tell him, oh, your son's not your son. He said, who will take his place would be his heir. So, or he said his son Joffrey, but you know, Ned wrote it for him, said his heir. So it's this little sneaky way of maybe trying to not have Joffrey take the throne. And of course, Littlefinger tried to tell him, hey, don't put Stannis on the throne. Won't be a good idea. Make friends with the Lannisters, and of course, Ned, he's too honorable. He doesn't want to do a little bad to do a little good, like Littlefinger's trying to do. And it's like, Stannis should be on the throne. He's the next heir, blah. And he's gonna go on with that plan. So, poop. So how that goes. And Jon Snow just became member of the Night's Watch. He's been honored in, but then he was wanting to do more of a fighting position, like his uncle is doing, but he ends up being the steward to the commander of the Night's Watch. He's not happy about that because he has to, bring him his food, change his clothes, change his bed linens, take his mail, attend him to all his meetings and all that mess. And Sam ends up telling him, hey, this could be an actually good idea. Like, you're gonna be attending all of his meetings, listening in on everything, taking his mail. He could be priming you up to be a commander. It could be like making you his heir or whatever. That could be his plan. He asked for you himself. And Jon was like, you know what, you're right. I was thinking like a boy, not of a man. So, so there's that. That's happening. And yeah, and I'm about to end that chapter, and I'm about to get into a Ned chapter. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. What's going on? Things are happening. I read Ned's chapter and Arya's chapter started on Sansa's. So immediately after the king dies, Cersei and Joffrey are like, I'm taking the throne, and then he's like, oh no, you're not the heir. Like, you're not taking the throne. Oh my god. Stannis is gonna do it. They're like, no, and of course, everyone on Cersei's side kills everyone on Ned's side, and he's just taken. And Littlefinger at the end is like, what is it? He goes, ding ding. He said, I did warn you not to trust me, because Littlefinger was in on this whole time, so he's playing that the whole time. So then we go into Arya, where she's training with her dance instructor, and they're having a good lesson, and then all of a sudden the Lannister's guard, part of the guard, comes in and is like, Arya Stark, your dad's requested, and then the dance instructor guy is like, that's a sketch. And even Arya's like, why would my dad be sending you to come get to me? That's not right. And of course they break into a fight. Ned's guy dies, the other guy dies, and she's running away from these guards. And then she goes up into her room, gets needle, gets a little bit of clothes, gotta take with her, just try and get back home. I still she saw maybe to survive. And then a sailor boy comes in there and tries to take her, but then she goes, stabs him. So they die. So obviously somewhere, the city knows Ned were to meet up with her, and yeah, she's making her way through the tunnels to survive a little bit. And then at the start of Sansa's chapter, it's the third day, so they got Sansa and her Jane Poole, her friend that was with them, and they're just in a tower hanging out. Yeah, won't answer no one's questions, no nothing, just chilling. Well, all hell breaks loose. We don't know where Ned's at. I think he's in a cell somewhere. And I think, from what I remember from a little bit of the show, this is where Cersei tries to turn Sansa against her dad to, convict him. But yeah, we don't know where Arya's at. She's just hiding. So yeah. Yeah. So that's about that. Yeah. That's it. So it's all breaking loose. Yeah. The Lannisters are taking over at this point. So yeah. Can't wait to see what Daenerys is doing at this point. But yeah, that's it.
A few moments later.
So you're telling me right now that Sansa is the reason why that they got Ned and everybody, essentially, because she was like, I want to marry Joff. I want to marry Joffrey. His blonde hair and green-eyed babies. Because they knew that they were leaving before the kids were leaving before. That's like what you said. Yeah. It was pretty upset. And then, King's last hope, the king had commanded father stayed in King's Landing to marry Joff. Sansa knew he could, but the king was so frightened. And if later to see him, so she went to the queen instead and poured her heart out. And Sansa had listened and thanked her sweetly. Only then for Sir Aerys. And hey, now you guys stop it. Pigs fighting. I had let me marry Joff. And so they all brought everybody up like an hour later. What?
Bombastic side-eye, criminal offensive.
Okay, so not to be on a Sansa hating train, but I'm on one. So not only does this girl live in like a fairy tale world, right, where like there's always a good guy that wins, like nothing ever bad happens to nobody. I just want to marry Prince Joff. It's all I ever want to be his doting wife, blah. But she's so easily, of course, I expect her to be manipulated. She's just a child, but she's so easily manipulated into like making these letters and, whatever. All she wants is to live in a fairy tale land. I feel that's what she's living in right now in her head. Like she has these things made up in her head about how these things work, and that's not how they work. It's like, Ned, Catelyn, what were you teaching her? What were you teaching her about like the world? I guess you can say that's what happens when you're so isolated at Winterfell, whatever they're at. Because stop, Stevie and everything. I guess that's what happens when you're so isolated in where they're living at, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I'm on a Sansa hating train. And at the very end of her chapter that I just finished, get out of the dirt, you dirty dog. You dirty. It goes, as she went to sleep, she didn't even think to ask about her sister. Neighbors. So she's alright. Was like, yeah, stop doing that, Stella. Are they still? Okay, they're parking. That she didn't think about her sister, like, not one time. Not once. Didn't even think about her sister. It's like, how do you... What? Like, how did you not once think about your sister at all? Anyway, yeah, that's that. I forget what chapter we're gonna be on now next, but, we're gonna see... Oh, wait, is that horrible neighbor leaving? We got this neighbor who's like a wretched woman. She may be leaving. Hang on. Let me see if that's her actual house. Come on, Stella. That might be her house. I forget which one it is, but somewhere down on this area. But yeah, that's that. Okay, a neighbor was crossing in front of us, so I'd be like, and you know, act normal. So I don't think that's her. She's a Karen, okay? I don't know. I don't think that's her place. That's leaving, but yeah, I don't know. She's a wretched woman. She's a crone, as I call her. She walks around like with come on, go forward. She walks around with her cell phone in her hand around our block, doing her wraparounds, like looking at everybody's houses to make sure like they're within our HOA rules or whatever, some shit. And we had, as you know, we do Christmas lights. Our very first year that we were doing them, we put them up in June, July, but the reason why we put them up was just to do like a tester to see how well they're going to be doing, or see where if there's any bad wires. No, kind of just do a tester. They were going to get taken down. Come on, Stella. They were going to get taken down, so it wasn't like a big deal, but this lady made the hugest deal. We're thinking it's her. She made like such a big deal about it, and we had to take them down like 2 days afterward, even though we were like, we know it's not Christmas in July. We know it's not Christmas. This is just a tester to see how well things are going to go. And if there's any bad wires or bulbs, that's the only way you could test them. So, yeah. Ever since then, we're kind of, yeah, I think it's that lady. But, Stella's paid. So, we're going to finish our wraparounds and listen to our book. So, and then the work day starts all over again next week or tomorrow. Ugh. Yeah. Yep. That's it. Here's a fun video of Stella walking. Okay, y'all, me and Stella went to show the dinner that we're making, or that we helped make. It is very, very simple. It is, you fry some chicken. It is colored noodles. You must have the colored noodles, and steamed veggies, and a sauce. It is a creamy Italian dressing, which I will show you right now. Okay. I'm gonna flip you guys around. Okay. I gotta stir these anyway, so let me, give these a little stir. So here's these veggies. You steam them. Do whatever you need to do. Doing this with one hand, this is a little weird. That's fine. I did not do some good stirring, but that's okay. And then these are the colored noodles you must have. These are the colored noodles. You must have them. If you don't, it's sacrilegious. And then here's our chicken that's in here. Let's keep them warm. And then this, you absolutely must have this creamy Italian dressing. And my stuff's falling. It's okay though. Anyway, these two things you must have. It is really good. And yeah. You must have all of these ingredients together. You must have the colored noodles. Don't ask me why you have to have the colored noodles. I just know that's how I was raised at making it. You must have the colored noodles. The noodles. And the creamy Italian dressing. The Italian creamy dressing. If you don't have that, you're doing everything wrong. Mix it all together. Put a little dressing on top. Great. That's what we're having for dinner. Right, Stella? Is that what we're having for din-dins? She thinks she's a dire wolf. See, look at her. She's scrounged. You must have that. Stella. Oh, Stella. Oh, Stella. Yep, that's what we're having for dinner. And I had to share that with you guys. Hello. Hello. I'm into bed. I'm doing a clip to update you. Or try and keep you guys updated. Okay. So, I'm really tired. Anyway, I am 75% way through this, I would say. Ned's taken off for his treason or whatever, and now he's still stepping up the door. I'm really tired. Damn. My brain's farting. It is farting. So he's taken away for his treason. That's been all discovered, and Sansa's basically manipulated by the queen, but she's also like not fully manipulated. So Joffrey was taking counsel and naming all the people who were going against him, whatever, blah, and then she stepped up and was bravely like, hey, can you spare my dad or whatever. And then she's like, he was taking milk of the puppy, he could have been manipulated, he could have had his brain could have been all scrambled because he's on that due to the pain. Still, he keeps barking outside. I don't know why. And he's nice to her right now. And of course, Lord Varys, I think in the show he is the bald guy, I think. And he's basically telling Ned at this point, yo, play the game, manipulate her, like use her, whatever. And he's being so stubborn. He doesn't want to do that. He's like, I'm too honorable for that. Blah. It's like, dude, he's actually kind of giving you good advice to use. Of course, you're a little bit more hesitant because, Littlefinger played your ass. But it's fine. But, like, it's okay to be cautious. But you could play the game a little bit. You can't stick to your guns like, this is the right thing. Because this may be the right thing, but sometimes you gotta play the game in order to do the right thing, right? So if you get in Cersei's good graces, whatever, you can just stab her in the back later, right? You can take the black. You can be the Night's Watch, but you can earn your way back up to stab her in the back, right? And he's like, someone might bring you some bread and cheese or Sansa's head. And it's like, dude, for real. That's one thing that's frustrating me about Ned. It's like he's like, this is a true thing through and through. He's a Boy Scout, I think, through and through. I don't know what it is, but it's like, dude, you gotta play the game a little bit to gain something. This is not how it's not black and white out here in these streets, bro. Yeah, so that's bugging me. And right now, Catelyn is with her son Robb. And of course, they're gathering their men to go against to go up against Tywin Lannister. So that's what they're doing as of this point, and I think it's been a whole year. It's been a whole year of this going on, so it's interesting to think about. And it's interesting to see how everyone finds out of what happened to Ned and the Starks and stuff. Like, oh my gosh, what? The king died? What? It's very interesting to see in that way. But so far, that's what's been happening. Ned's gonna die here soon, I think. Oh, Dany almost got killed. I forgot about that. In the market. She was gonna get her some wine, and then she suddenly realized, oh shit. The Usurper put a bounty on my head, basically, for any way to kill me. So, yeah. So she's slowly realizing that, and yeah. That happened to her, so I think that's it. We can read more or go to sleep. I don't know, but yeah, that is that. Hey, so I'm in the tub. It's going to be a bit of an awkward. Here, you can see my forehead. How about that? So right now, Robb Stark, Catelyn's firstborn son, they are going to war with the people, Tyrion and Tywin Lannister right now, and Tyrion just got to the place where his father's at, introduced to the people, which are kind of like the wild people. I forget what kind of people they are, but they're kind of like, you know, they seem kind of wild anyway. So he introduced them to him, and they're all good and safe, and they can hang out and all that good mess. And you know, Tyrion. Sorry, Tyrion. No, Tyrion. The imp. I'm sorry, I get confused between the two. They're very, very close names. I'm so sorry. So, he ended up getting himself a hua. And he seems like he's a very, very nice guy. He knows, like, the girl's probably faking everything, but he's very, very nice. He likes to court them for a while. He doesn't just, you know, fuck them and be like, oh, thank you, goodbye, boop. He kind of hangs out with them for a little bit. He just wants the comfort of somebody in the bed, you know, just snuggle with him at night. Which, you know, everyone wants that, right? So, did that. And then the next morning, they realized, oh my gosh. They woke up in the wars. The battle started. And we're at that point right now where, Robb Stark was planning on going overnight, you know, kind of doing a little jump, hello, surprise. Well, that's what they're doing, and that's right now. I thought I'd give you a little update about that. I know it's a little bit of awkward angle, but you know, this is a G-rated site. You shall not see anything else more exciting than my face. So that's where we're at right now. Yeah. Oh, and Dany, she was going through one of the villages, and she realized that her own people, like the Dothraki, raped some women. Yeah, it's like, no. And so she was taking every woman that she saw was being taken advantage of, and was taking them into her care. And one of the women was actually a healer, who was actually one of the healers who from King's Landing. So she learned that at some point. So who was actually helping heal Khal Drogo, and Khal Drogo seems very, very supportive of Dany. He's like, she's my moon and my star, which I do like that. But then it's also like, she's like 15, you're like 35, weird. But he seems like any decision that she makes, he's a go for it. You know what I mean? So I really like that. So the age difference is still fucking weird, but you know, I guess it's of the times in this book. But I guess whatever. I don't know. But yeah, she basically was taking every woman in, part as her slaves, quote unquote. Not really slaves, but as part of her court. So they were all not, you know. So that's cool. Shows what kind of person she's in. She is early on, and yeah. So I think that's it so far. I know there's a whole bunch of planning and a whole bunch of other things with Robb and Catelyn Stark, but it's like, that's like technical, like, I'll take them from the South End. It's like, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but, and you're trying to plan something, and Robb is Catelyn's trying to teach him how to lead and command a army at this point. But yeah, so yeah, that's from that. I'll let you know if something very, very exciting happens later on. I'm signing off. Hello. Coming live with Stella. So we went to Walmart. She loved it. And she made old lady stay. Because her old lady was like, my kids won't let me have one anymore. And so, and then she held her and it was nice. So, oh, I was got another book. This, got that. Gothinka, I don't know. It's been on my Amazon for a while, so, and I'm re-uploading my, it's not 2 hours and 4 minutes. Damn. It is like an hour and some minutes long. But I'm re-uploading my, Rosa Forsyth reading vlog because for some reason, when I put it together, it didn't do what it was supposed to do. I don't know. Anyway, re-uploading it and that'll be there soon. Yeah. So, it's taking a while. That's okay. And, I'm still reading Game of Thrones. Yeah. Anyway, I'm like about done with it. I think I updated you a little bit last night. Was last night? I forget. Ma'am, you want to do that now? So in summary, they got Jaime Lannister. Because Robb Stark was already in the area that they were supposed to be in like days ago, which I kind of foresee that happening. I guess so. They're scheming and planning what they're gonna do with that right now, doing battle-y things. And he's having a problem off its own. Ned Stark has passed. The hand of the king is dead. Yes. So, and we know where Arya was at. She was just basically hanging out in Blade Bottom. Got most of her shit stolen, but her survival instincts are still good, which I admire. They're automatically there. She's, surviving, and then she heard like the bells chiming, and so she followed all the people there, and so this guy took her, but I forget who he is. I'm unsure if he's a good man or not, but she's been taken by that man after what she saw. So he confesses his crimes, and Sansa, she's thinking, oh no, he'll be spared, because little asshole smiled at her. He's, oh my god, he's gonna be spared. No, he's like, bring me his head. So chopped his head off, and of course she was like in a depressed state for like days and days, and then finally he came in and was like, you look horrible, you need to go get dressed or whatever. And she's like not really being nice to him back, and then he actually has his little guard guy smacking her around. He's a little asshole. We knew he was gonna be an asshole, but he is. And then of course she attends him to court, and then he's just like chopping heads off left and right. He takes her up to the place where all the spiked heads are at, and she has a thought of like, I could just toss him off there. I could go with him. I wouldn't care. His little guy that's following him around, smacking her around again, made her bleed and all stuff, and the hound's actually being quiet, is being a little gentler and nicer to her, and yeah, so he's just being an asshole. He's like, you're stupid. We're gonna see, I'm gonna get you pregnant as soon as possible and see if those kids turn stupid. If those kids turn stupid, then, I'm going to chop your head off and go find me a smarter wife. And he's like, damn. And Bran and Rickon, they both were having all these dreams about, oh, my dad's dead. And then, turns out, he is. So, they got that news. And Daenerys, brain fart, Jason Momoa character guy, he had a really bad wound on his breast that festered, and she's trying to save him. He fell off his horse, which is bad. He fell off his horse in the Dothraki clan. So she ends up having the Magi, or whoever she is. I know I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm so sorry. Trying to save him by doing like a blood magic, but in the process of that, a life had to be given. She thought, oh, a horse would be just as good. And no, it was actually her baby. So her baby ends up choosing her baby, and yeah, horrible. And something to do with her eggs are stirring. Her eggs are gonna be dragons soon. I have a feeling, and of course, Jason Momoa, character guy, he actually ends up blind. He's actually nothing like what he used to be. And of course, this lady gives a whole big old speech of like when he can return back to normal. It's like, really? It's like a little prophecy thing. And no, she ends up at the end of her chapter, she smothers him to death just because he's like, that's way better than he's living now. Like, he wants to be riding on his horse with his long braid behind him with his bells in his hair, ting 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 in the wind, you know. There is that, which was kind of, oh, I'm not surprised I didn't think I would take him. Yeah, me too. I didn't think that was gonna take him, but it did. So and of course all of like the Dothraki 20-some thousand people are like, they're gone. They took off. They followed the strong. So we don't know what's gonna happen with that, or how Dany's eggs are gonna become dragons. How they're gonna hatch. How are these eggs gonna hatch? Boop, 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 boop. So there's that. Joffrey being an asshole. Jaime Lannister's been taken off. And Arya saw her dad die, and then she was taken off by this guy. I mean, she knows the guy, but we don't know if he's gonna take her in and like hide her away or whatever. So I'm so tired. Oh my god. So I do plan on finishing this. I think in the audiobook I got 50 minutes in it, so it'll be not too long before I'll give you my review, and then this reading will be wrapped up, and we'll be starting on the second one. So yay! So. So CPC, because she got her some new treats. She also picked herself a bed. She got a new bed because she's her one, and when we've been gone, she's been sleeping on blankets for a while. So hopefully she won't tear up this bed. Yeah, that's it. So I will see you when the next update happens. I will be wrapping this up and telling you my full thoughts on everything, and maybe give a star review. Hello. So finished Game of Thrones last night. The first one, A Song of Ice and Fire. Yeah, finished that last night and started a little bit of the second one, but not too far. So basically, at the end, not really much happens. Robb Stark, he's declared King of the North, you know, and they're like, King of the North, that stuff. And Daenerys, she is taken, she's, you know, doing her funeral thing with her husband, Khal Drogo. Sorry, I've been calling him Jason Momoa character, but it's the Khal. And he's put on the pyres and he's burned, and she also burns the witch, the Magi, whoever she is. And she actually ends up going into the fire, and she actually has the eggs, her little dragon eggs, and somehow the eggs, they end up hatching into her dragons that we now know in the show. And you know, now all the people that she was saying, hey, blood of my blood, you know, swear yourself to me, whatever, blah. At first they're like, I'm not doing that. They instantly are like, ooh, I'll take you to the Yen woman, because they just saw her like go into this fire unburnt, and dragons are suckling upon the breasts. So yeah, I would say I would give this 4 out of 5 stars. I really did enjoy it. I think this time, since I took the time to kind of like fully wrap my mind around, I'm gonna actually dedicate myself to this book and read it. I think it was really good. Now the more council parts, I'm like, I don't know.
But that's just because, you know, I'm not used to reading something with such high detail in the council battle, stuff like that. But yeah, I really liked Tyrion's scenes, because Tyrion, he's got some good advice for certain things. Like, he's right, you know, he's a dwarf. He can't really be used physically, but he can use his mind, you know, so he really is smart in that way, which I really like. They do really good, or he does really good at making Joffrey an asshole, and Sansa being really annoying and irritating, but that's what I really liked. Let me see if there's anything else. Let's see what else I think I liked. I like Daenerys' scenes. Those were really fun. And also I got bit on the chest. What the fuck? I don't like that. I like those. And also watching the show too. I'm on, I think. Hold on, I can probably tell you right now. I'm on episode 4, so where that compares up to the book. She's already in the way they say Littlefinger's first name, Peter. She calls him Peter, but it's Petar in the book, but they narrate it, which is interesting. They met up with him, in the Hula house, and basically told him what's going on. Bran's been awake. Old Nan's telling him the stories. Like, I like stories. And Old Nan's like, I know a story about a boy who didn't like stories. And so, we're at that part of the book, Daenerys is learning how to, have happy fun times with, Khal Drogo, and that's it. She discovers she's pregnant. And, Viserys is walking. He's walking himself. He's doing the walk of shame. Not the walk of shame, not the shame, not that walk of shame, but the Dothraki's version of walk of shame, which is awesome. Like, yes, me can walk, asshole. Which she does have. Although she makes him do that, you know, it's not like the, you know, it's cool. But anyway, and that is comparing up well to book, show to movie so far. There's little extra scenes kind of give extra content, context of the background stuff that was happening that you didn't get in the book. I do like how in the show, Cersei actually visits Catelyn Stark about Bran, and kind of opens up about how she had her first son with Robert, and she miscarried, and you know, which I think that's the only kid she ever had by Robert anyway. But I do like that, and it kind of shows. I think if I'm understanding this right, Cersei didn't want him to be thrown out of a window, you know, or at least afterwards she didn't want, you know, someone to go in and like kill him or whatever. But I do like how they had, it kind of gives a sense of like, dang, they could have been closer if, you know, things wouldn't have happened, you know. They're both wives and women to big high lords, you know, who have very strong duties, you know. And you do get a sense of like, she could have gotten really close to Sansa, you know, she has that kind of sort of sympathy a little bit, but then I get run because they, you know, they toss the kid out a window, and then they try to kill him afterward. Yeah, and of course one of the dogs does get killed, Lady, and Arya's very, very aggressive too. In the show, she's like, "You liar!" And she's just like hitting her sister. It's like, girl, she'll not done that for them too. And it's just her, I think it was at the end, she finally, at the end of episode 3, she finally gets her dancing partner, or her dance instructor. That was fun. So, you're all in that area, and we kind of get some more content or context with the relationship between Joffrey and the mom, Cersei Lannister, and yeah, so that was interesting. And yeah, he just wants to chop everybody's heads off. I have coffee somewhere. Where did it go? I know. But yeah, we get more of that, which we don't really get necessarily in the book. We don't get, I don't think we get big Blue One Joffrey chapter. I think we might get him in this one, but yeah. Other than that, that is all for this vlog. Stella, get out of there. You're getting all tangled. You're getting all tangled. See, that's what happens when you get in places that you're not supposed to. That's my toes. Just because you got tangled, that don't mean you need to get my toes. Rude. Anyway, that's not for this vlog. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll be moving on to the next one, which is Clash of Kings, and it's about the same size, but yeah. Yeah, so we'll see how well I do with the second one. I hope you guys are having a lovely morning, day, even night, wherever you guys are at in this world, this flying blue planet, and see you next one. And if you guys have read this book or anything like that, or have any thoughts about the show, let me know. I've already been spoiled for most of the things, so it's fine to spoil. It's okay. Unless someone in the comments don't want to be spoiled, then that's fine. So like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all socials, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.